God will not answer your prayers unless you persevere. Some of the answers don't come right away. And what are you going to do when you ask God to heal you, to bless you, to restore your marriage, to answer this prayer, to increase your business, to grow your church, and it's not happening? What do you do then? Well, I guess the Lord didn't want to do that. No. Jesus never taught that. He told us to persevere. Here in Luke chapter 18, Jesus gives the parable about the persistent widow. It starts off in verse 1. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. Why does he tell us not to give up? Because Jesus knows that not every prayer you pray gets answered like that. Some prayers take, in fact, I would say most prayers are going to take a while to get answered. This is why the book of Hebrews says it is through faith and patience we inherit what has been promised. This is why it's not enough to get saved and then give up your faith and think you're going to go to heaven. No, you have to persevere. It's those who persevere that inherit the promises. And so the Bible is very clear in its teaching that God will answer your prayers, but not always right away. And there's a good reason why he doesn't, because God knows the perfect time to have your prayers be manifested. And maybe the time isn't now. Maybe what God's looking to do is to have you grow up and mature. Maybe he's looking for you to maybe repent, turn away from certain sins in your life before he answers your prayer. There are a lot of things that could be happening in your life that God needs you to change. And so what happens is when we persevere, we learn to build character. James says it that way, that after you persevere, you become a perfect man. That is, you become someone who's mature and learning to grow. But we don't ever grow up if we get spoiled. You take a little child that has a silver spoon born in his mouth and gets everything it wants. I promise you, when that child becomes an adult, you're going to have a monster on your hands, because that child doesn't know perseverance and suffering. And so suffering does teach us a lot. It makes us, number one, more compassionate toward other people. See, if God just answered your prayers all the time right away and you became rich and healthy and successful and you didn't go through any suffering, often you won't have compassion for those who do suffer. And so God allows us to go through things in life to teach us compassion and persistence and gratefulness and thankfulness. And also, it teaches us something about the sufferings of Christ.